Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome to the Kat Timpf Show. I'm Kat Timpf. I have a special guest with me who is the only person, this is true, who has ever lived with me and been able to remain my friend afterwards. Her name is Kirsty Sadler. I believe I may have
Hi.
mentioned her as Puppet Girl on previous podcasts. I'm not sure if I've ever discussed or not. However, yeah, so she's like the nicest person in the whole world, and I'm a terrible roommate.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But you recognize it.
It's like I'm like the world's worst roommate ever of all time. So my mom told me when I was younger that she could always tell me where I was in the house because she would just follow the trail of garbage that I leave
Or the
behind me
crumbs.
wherever I go. Yeah, a lot of crumbs. But and it's interesting because we don't have anything in common.
Not really.
Nothing. You love children.
I do. I love children. I love cartoons.
Yeah.
I love anime.
Yeah, I hate anime. I seriously, whenever anybody, I would get mad because we shared an Apple TV and I would see that Dragon Ball Z bullshit was on.
I know.
And it was your account and I was still like, you know what, this is just, I don't know how anybody could watch this.
It is so funny because I also know when you watch stuff because it's like toddlers and tiaras,
Yeah,
16 and pregnant. I'm like, oh, Kat's been watching TV.
I love 16 and pregnant. I love toddlers and tiaras because it's so bad.
It's horrible.
And you're also, you're a religious person.
Mm-hmm.
You're saving sex for marriage.
I am.
I am not.
Yep.
She was aware of that also, living. No, and I mean...
That's like the more normal thing, though, is to not save sex for marriage.
That is the more normal thing. There's nothing, there's nothing very, very normal about you, Sads.
No.
Yeah, I feel like, I'm trying to think, what was like the worst thing that I ever did?
The worst thing? Oh my gosh. I think, like going back now, just thinking about like when your mom said I could always know where you were in the house.
Yeah.
One of the things that was always like, was you have these eyelashes.
The fake eyelashes.
Fake eyelashes. And I remember being like so grossed out about them because I always thought they were bugs. And I'd be like, oh, it's just one of Kat's eyelashes.
I don't know how they just fall off of my head.
They just like got everywhere on the floor. And I remember they would like stick to my socks all the time. And I remember actually a few months ago, like I found one on a sock and I was like, Kat's still here.
I remember, oh God, even after you moved to a different,
Yes.
yeah. Gee, well, I remember one time, like whenever you'd leave for the weekend, you came back one time and there was the pasta sauce.
Oh yeah, the pasta sauce. And I remember it was so funny. You came out and you're like, oh, you don't have to do that. And I was like, no, I do. I was like, I do, Kat.
There was
It needs to be clean.
There was pasta sauce just everywhere, and I don't even think I had pasta. It was a long story. I didn't really have pasta. I tried. I was spilling things everywhere all the time. I had crumbs everywhere. I was very loud. I was very naked. I had a cat.
I love that cat.
Yeah, he's a pretty great cat.
He
I just feel. I mean, so now I live alone, and it's very much better for me to do so. Who do you live with now?
I live with these two girls, and I don't actually know them very well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually we have very different schedules, and so I never see them. And my room is kind of far away from.
Do you
theirs.
hate them?
I don't know them, and I think it's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
it sort of feels like I live alone, and so.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, when people are like, "What are they like?" I'm like, they're girls.
Do they party?
They don't like ever.
See, you at least party. You at least drink with me and
Yeah.
party. I like to drink, but I mean, I just so you live like Upper West. You don't know how did you they're through church? You knew them?
Yeah, I actually didn't know them through church, but my church has like a website where you can put like I need to find a roommate, and these girls found me. And they actually don't even go to my church; they go to a different church. But
See, I know it's just so interesting because you are the most church goingest roommate I've ever had. And you are the only one who does still speak to me, which I'm not, by the way. If any of my roommates out there are listening, I totally understand. I really don't. Like I had my college roommate. She used to I had the room by the door,
yeah,
and she used to try to get in the door, but all my shit like it was like blocking the door, and I couldn't get in. I'm much more clean now, but And you'd think that you'd be more judgmental because I would get myself into some some situations from time to time.
Yeah, but here's the deal. What I love about you, though, is like you acknowledge all these things and you like would refusely apologize for them too. Like you wouldn't just like do these things and like not say anything about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And you would also, for everybody listening, Kat is like super sweet too, because then she would like buy me groceries.
I would
if,
have
like, it was
to.
really bad.
Yeah.
She would, like, or she would like leave a little apology letter and she'd be like, "I'm so sorry for leaving all this shit on the ground."
Well, you lived with me like the summer of my horrible breakup.
Yeah. Well, also the other thing too is I was like, she's going through a lot.
I was like,
there's a lot of give here too.
It was like I forgot about eating and I was just like only drinking vodka. And I was like, why do I keep ruining more and more of my relationships? And why did I do that? Remember, I was like, there might be a dead baby in this apartment for all I know. That was the most horrible thing in the world when I was like trying to eat that bagel in the shower. And I was like, I'm not... You know.
I remember, and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's not a dead baby here. And you were like, pretty sure? You're only pretty sure? And I was like, I mean, no, there's not. There's not.
Well, you're like a little you're like a little unicorn too, because you were like sometimes like my mom, but sometimes like my daughter, because you'd say things to me that I haven't heard since middle school. Like, I made out with a guy last night. I'm worried I'm pregnant.
Yeah, because I'm that strange and weird, and I'm like, what if this happened and I fell asleep and I didn't know?
That's not how it works.
No,
I promise you that. I promise you.
I know.
There's other stuff that happens in order to get pregnant. I mean, so you're not doing the puppet thing. You were a puppeteer. You're still doing puppeteering, but you're not making puppets.
Yeah, or I'm still like I've just kind of cut it back. So
I'd come home and she'd come home and I'd be like naked on the couch and like surrounded by a bunch of literature. I was really into Buddhism that summer also, by like a bunch of Buddhist literature and snacks. And I come home and you'd just be like making puppets.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, when I lived with Kat, I had a lot of puppet work of making even stranger puppet clothes. Not so much. I mean, I made puppets too, but I made a lot of puppet clothes. That takes a lot of time.
This person lived with me. Like, I think anybody who listens to my podcast is like, what? Like, how did you not kill her? I mean, I'm sure you must have wanted to at times. I don't think I ever left the oven on. I don't think I ever did that.
No, but I did.
You did that once, and I was like really glad that you did. 'Cause I was like, she did something wrong. And it's not my fault. I mean, I like got it together. It was just like it was like a bad time in my life. I just don't think about things. I also guess I don't understand what it is about me. The toothpaste is everywhere.
Oh yeah, how do you do that? Like
I
I would
don't know.
always be like so shocked. I was like, how is this even possible for toothpaste to get everywhere?
I think it's a curse. I mean, my whole brother and sister do it too. I think it's some sort of gene.
Yeah.
Our childhood bathroom completely covered in toothpaste at all times.
I would just like go in after you would brush your teeth and like screw on the cap tighter after a while.
See, this is awful. Who would want to live with a person like this? This is so absolutely terrible. I mean, okay. All right, I'm going to do a thing now. We're going to talk about bras because I have to do an ad read. Okay, so, ladies, if you're anything like me, the first thing you do when you get home is take off that itchy, uncomfortable bra.
Oh, yeah.
And now you can try Third Love's best-selling 24/7 t-shirt bra for free for 30 days. Start your free trial now at www.thirdlove.com/kat. Okay, you know what? It's super smoothing, not just smoothing, but super smoothing. It's invisible under every outfit. You can start your free trial now going to www.thirdlove.com/kat. That's me. It's free trial. You just pay for shipping. You wear it for 30 days. You can take the tags off, wear it, really just live with it. You love it, you keep it. They'll charge your card then. If you don't love it, you send it back for free and your card will not be charged. www.thirdlove.com/kat, like me, K-A-T. All right, cool.
I'm going to buy one.
Was that a good job?
That was awesome. I'm totally going to buy one. I'm sold.
That was a really good job. Well, you also lived with me when we lived in Harlem.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We used to live in East Harlem, which you lived with Joel, who was on a previous podcast, and I lived with Matt, who does not speak to me, which is fair because it was really bad. And that was really the stuff that went down. So the walk from the subway to the apartment, we would call the Trail of Tears.
Yeah,
because it was just like everybody was like detoxing on drugs involuntarily. And they'd call us like Sweet Vanilla.
Yeah, Sweet Vanilla and Slim Goody.
Slim Goody. And it was bad. I heard that somebody got stabbed to
with
death.
with an umbrella.
Yeah, or something
or over an umbrella.
an umbrella in the sunshine. Which, I mean, even if it's raining, it's like still totally not worth it.
Yeah.
But people would shit in the stairwells.
Oh my gosh, I know. Because I was always like, because before we were roommates there, we were only 5 flights like away, and I was like, I'll just walk up the stairs. And then it was like, or I'm not going to, because this is the most disgusting thing in the world.
It was so bad. I remember there was this couple that was always fighting, and they were always cheating on each other, and they would always yell on the other one, "You said you left to go get cigarettes, you've been gone for 6 hours." And it's like, you guys, this isn't even cheating at this point. Like, this is just an open relationship. Like, you guys just want to keep it open. And I remember that one night, this guy, he ran up and down the hallway banging on the door of like everyone being like, "You're like 33H is a slut." And I'm like, oh my God. There was a guy with a boombox up and down playing Return of the Mac, like going up and down the hallway. And it took me a while to be like, I don't think he lives here, actually.
I think probably didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you lived there for years.
Yeah, I lived for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we first moved there, it seemed like, I guess like we must have moved at a good time, and it seemed like kind of normal. And we're like, this is awesome. This is great. Oh my gosh, we have so much space. Like we had just like so much space, and it was awesome. And then like the longer we lived here, we were like, this is not okay. There was a murder in front of our building.
Oh yeah. I got into a really big fight with my boyfriend, who is now my ex-boyfriend, because he didn't wake me up to see the dead body.
Yeah.
And I was very upset about that.
Kat was like, "You only get one chance in your life to see this." And Travis was like, "I hope you only get one chance in your life to see this.
You know how much I love Law and Order SVU. You know." God, never a normal fight. But what it was is I think they would show the apartment at night because it was actually nicer at night. Because what they do is they drop everybody off. Like the people who are sleeping at halfway houses and like detox centers and rehabs, they have nothing to do with them during the day. I like researched this. The buses that go from like the halfway houses and the psychiatric hospitals for the criminally insane, and then they just drop them off in the morning. So in the morning, they're all on the streets. And I remember being like, was that you that was with me? No, that was Matt, my roommate Matt. When we went to go buy some Pinot Grigio somewhere, like at that terrifying liquor store down the street. And we were like, I was like, man, this is like kind of crazy. And he's like, just that like rickety old woman was like, just wait till the summertime. They all come out in the summertime. And it was like the most ominous, terrifying thing in the world.
She sounds like a prophetic gypsy.
And she wasn't wrong, dude. It was even worse.
It was worse in the summertime. Yeah, there's something about that heat that people are like, I'm going to kill somebody.
I don't know. And then, I mean, Bushwick was... God, and then in Bushwick, we lived across from a beverage distribution center, which was...
Don't ever live across from a beverage distribution center. Just don't do it.
I gotta tell you, these truckers don't care what time it is.
Don't.
If it's time to drop off the pop, then it's time to drop off the pop. I'm trying to think what was like the craziest thing that ever happened to us there, but I don't even know what it was. Nothing really compares to Harlem. Remember that building exploded?
Yeah, we were working out.
We were doing one of our workout videos.
And we were pretty terrified because like it shook our building, and we looked out your window and nothing was wrong, and we were sort of like, oh, okay. But then when I went down to my place, my window was a different way, and I was like, Kat, get down here. There's an exploding building like 5 blocks from us.
I mean, and then we didn't have gas in our apartment for like 2.5 months.
That was ridiculous. We had to like shower with like a glass of water, microwaved water.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's great. But you love New York, right? You'll never leave.
I will never leave.
You'll die here.
Yeah, I want to die here. Unless I get like too old to live in New York. Because you know the people that are like over 100 and it's just like, you can't walk anymore. You need to leave.
Yeah.
If I ever get that old, like I can understand when somebody would be like, okay, Kirsty, it's time for you to leave.
And I haven't seen you in like, what have you been doing? You've been doing like a lot of like, have you been like church things? You've been doing like...
Yeah.
I work 7 days a week also. I don't see a lot of anybody anymore.
You do so much. It's amazing. It's really cool. So I've actually done 3 plays since I last saw you.
Oh shit.
So I did a kids show and then I did 2 adult shows, and now I'm working on a recital.
I'll be like, what are you doing? And she'll be like, oh, I have to go volunteer at the nursing home. And I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, me too. I mean, is it hard, like... Are you dating anybody?
No, I'm not. It was so awful too because I totally thought I was gonna date someone, and I was like brave enough to do it and like ask him, like was like, I really like you and I think we should date, and he was like really impressed. But then like 2 weeks later, he started dating a different girl, and I was like, okay, that's
Yeah. Do you tell guys straight up front like I'm a virgin? Like when do you drop that bomb?
Yeah, that's a pretty big bomb. Bomb is a pretty. Yeah, I usually like, especially if a guy's interested, I kind of like make sure it's known earlier because that really does like kind of set. Because sometimes when I do say it, like guys are like, "Oh, cool," and then they never talk to me ever again. And so I'm like, "Okay, well, I kind of like set them free." So they, like, didn't pursue because like it would suck if I like didn't tell a guy and then like we're making out and like he wants to go further, and if I was finally like, I'm actually a virgin, he would be like, what? You know?
Like, I mean, you don't necessarily, you're not looking for a guy who's also a virgin.
No,
because that's
I don't expect that to happen.
I'm not sure those guys are real.
I don't think they exist.
It's just
I think they're like under the age of 15. That's just not dateable.
You can't do that. You can't. I know that you do nannying, but you can't double up.
Nope, can't do that.
I mean, that's got to be. I think dating in New York is hard.
It's so hard.
I don't even really know what dating like. I've been on maybe a date before, but I don't really go on like dates. I mean, I guess I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I've just had friends turn into more than friends, and we start liking each other. And I mean, I've been single, I guess, for a year technically now, and I'm fine with it. It's whatever. But I can't imagine having to be like, oh, also I'm a virgin.
Yeah, the guys are just like, well, see you later.
Do they get really mad?
No, they don't get mad. I've never had a guy who was just like, well, then fuck you or anything.
Yeah.
Like, but they definitely are kind of like, oh.
Well, the thing is because you're not, and you're Christian, you know, you're virgin, but you're not like a boring person. You're a very fun person, you know. You're like, I think we should get some champagne after this. I think that'd be a nice time. You know, you've never judged me for anything that I've done.
Go dancing.
Yeah, you've never judged me for anything. And then Joel, you shared a bed with a gay man.
I shared a bed with a gay man for 2 years. I know a lot of things now. So many things.
I can't believe you did that.
I can't believe I did either. And it was so funny moving to New York. Like, I assumed it was like something that people did. I was like, oh, yeah, you just moved here and you're like 20-something and you're young. You just share a bed with your roommate, right? And people were like, no, you don't do that.
And he'd have like gentleman callers over.
Yeah.
And he'd wake up.
Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, hello. What?
That's not okay. So this is why I'm seen as acceptable.
Yeah, I was going to say, compared to like waking up and being like, wait, who is this person in my bed?
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be worse than that.
At least anything happening with me was in a separate bed.
Yeah.
Room.
Separate room.
Bed.
And bed.
I mean, I can't imagine. So that's why you're just like such a fascinating person to me, because if you look at like you on paper and your beliefs, you'd be like, ugh, this is a butt. It's like, no, she's actually put up with shit that I would have not been cool with. And, you know, I'm like you literally slept in the same bed as gay sex.
Yeah. Like, and it was...
and then woke up and went to church.
Yeah, that's exactly what would happen. But I even remember, like, because he had a boyfriend for a while. And I remember even one night, like, we all, like, the three of us went to bed, like, all together because we were, like, coming home from a party. Mm-hmm. And I was like, good night, Joel. And he was like, good night. I was like, good night, Justin. He was like, good night, Kirsty. And then they were like, good night to each other. And I was like, wait, should I leave? Like, what's going on? And I remember even asking, being like, so do you want me to, like, you know, sleep on the couch tonight? And they'd be like, no, this is your bedroom. Like, you sleep here. I was like, yeah, I know, but like, you could go on the couch maybe. I don't know. I'm sort of thinking maybe we should be in separate rooms. Maybe.
Oh, my God. And then, so something that's, I know for you, and this was the case of a lot of, because we went to a more conservative school, we went to Hillsdale.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of, like, being a virgin there, wanting that was kind of like, a lot of people were doing that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had boyfriends who turned out to be gay.
Oh, yeah. And I'm one of them.
Including you.
That was like my Hillsdale story.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you the amount of times I was like told, if you just had a penis, I feel like we would be perfect for each other.
You've been told that a lot?
I've been told at least 4 times. Which is like a high number, right?
It's a very high number.
You know, it's like if I had a nickel, I'd not have 25 cents, but I'd still have 20 cents.
Yeah, oh my God. Well, then this guy, the one guy that was your boyfriend, he ended up sleeping with Joel.
Oh, yeah.
your gay best friend.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this is just all insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You're just this cute little puppeteer, and you're just thrust into this world, and you're doing your best.
Just trying my best over here.
And they tried to hide it from you, and it's like, no.
Oh, yeah. And you know how people try to hide things, and
Yeah.
they're like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, not much.
Did you just call them out on it?
I just remember, like, standing in between them being like, what? What? And I didn't call them out because there was, like, too many people in the room.
Right.
And it was also during the time where that guy was, like, not comfortable with people knowing that he was gay.
Yeah.
And so, but I just remember, like, looking at both of them being like, you guys slept with each other. Like, you never are like, hey, bro, what's going on?
I love Jesus, but I'm not an idiot. Like, I understand. Yeah, the sexual tension. Oh my God. I mean, you lived with all. Well, that was when Joel was also Justin. He was that drag queen, right? He goes
Yeah.
by Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea
assume
Pierce.
Chelsea
He's
Pierce.
pretty fabulous.
He is fabulous. Those were great days.
I loved him. I loved Justin. When they broke up, I was really sad. I was like, I feel like the child in this
I
relationship.
know. I remember when you guys first moved in, I was living in DC, and I would be coming to New York to do stand-up comedy
Yeah.
shows, and I'd be staying with you guys, and I would just be the worst guest of all time.
Oh my gosh. And I remember one time too, Joel was like, I'm just not going to tell her that I'm not going to be home. And I was like, maybe like so you could get back in to get your stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
No, you should tell her that you're not going to be home so that she knows.
Rather
when to
than
get-
tell me I'm upset you're not giving me notice.
Yeah, like say something because at that point too, like we knew each other and we were
Yeah.
friends, but we weren't like super good friends yet.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
like we weren't like, hey,
Yeah.
we are now. And so I was like, so you should probably do that. And he was like, I'm just not going to. And I was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, and then you had to let me in.
I did.
And it was very late, and I was very upset. And then you let me borrow your keys, and then I thought I lost them. And I was
Oh my
trying to
gosh,
text you in like ways you would understand, like on the late night. I was like, I'm worse than Uncle Scar. I was like, if I talk like Disney, maybe this girl will know. I was like, wait, no. She's like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was. I mean, and then, oh God, I mean, like my stuff would just be everywhere. I had that. Remember, I was like dating that one guy who I brought with me, who wound
my
up.
gosh,
He
yeah.
wound up getting too messed up,
Yeah.
and
All roads lead to
or
Jersey.
he was like, all pills need to lead to New Jersey. He wound up in New Jersey. I was like, where did you get pills? Where were you taking? Like, who are you? Like,
What?
never saw him again after that weekend. I was like, all right, well, I guess this guy's a drug addict.
This guy is a.
Oh man. I mean, what do I wear? I have to admit, I don't know what I'm gonna. Oh geez, I feel like, I mean, so your whole family's still in Michigan. We actually our families live
Yeah,
like
a block away
like a
from
block
each
away
other.
from each other. I never knew you existed.
I know.
But I feel like I was cool in high school. I was in like mock trial and like a big nerd, and I was in like theater and stuff too. We got to know each other a little bit during the play, and then for you living with Joel, which I don't even know. I mean, I still don't know how you shared that bed, especially because I feel like when he moved to New York, when everybody's first year in New York, they're like, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah.
And then it just punches you in the face repeatedly. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna start coughing.
I don't know.
I mean, and then you guys had bed bugs.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst. We had bed bugs, and I'm like, he's like, I don't know how we got them. I'm like, it's from one of the randos you brought. You know, like,
So then you were slut shaming him a little bit.
yeah, that was the only time because, well, I feel like it was probably because while we had bed bugs too, like it was during the summertime, and he was traveling like the entire time, so I had to do like all the cleaning basically by myself. And I remember one time he came home. And he was just like, I can't take it. I'm leaving. And he like left for the rest of the day. And I was just like, dude, you've been gone.
Oh,
Like,
man.
You can take the one day of cleaning that you're here. And so I feel like that's why all of a sudden I was like, it's because of a rando that you brought home. You had to have done this to me. You're making me clean up everything.
I've seen you angry a couple times, and it must be so frustrating for you because it's cute.
Oh, yeah. That's like the worst when somebody's like, oh, it's so cute. And you're like, take me seriously.
Because you're like a little Muppet munchkin.
I know. My face is so, I don't know what it is about it.
It's adorable.
It's like a little child.
We had rules when we lived together. My rules for you was like no puppets in the living room.
Yeah, that was a good rule.
No show tunes or Sesame Street bullshit or anime when I'm home.
I kept that when you were,
And then I did
a good job with that rule.
I didn't follow any of the rules.
Did we? What rules?
With me, you were just like, do your best.
Yeah, just try your best, Kat.
And like for a while, I would keep my mess in my room, but then it would start coming to vomit out of. I've done a better job having my own space. I was like, wow, the messy apartments that I've lived in really have all been all my fault. I was like, it's really been all my fault. And so now I've started cleaning on Sundays.
I've like kind of assumed that. I was like, you know what? I bet Kat living alone, all of a sudden she'll clean up. Like she'll probably just will because she'll be like, oh, I should do this.
I know. I have ownership of my own space. I'm like, wow. It really was all me. This was really all completely me. Remember when I thought I thought we had bed bugs?
Oh my gosh, yeah, you thought we had bed bugs. And I was like totally mentally preparing myself because I got that text and I was like, I've been through it before, I can do it again. And I was like going through like the list of like, okay, this is what we're gonna have to do first, and this and this and this. And then I remember like when I had to be home for when the exterminator came.
Yeah.
And the bed bug that you thought was a bed bug, you put in a sock.
Yeah. As one does.
And like it was like in a Ziploc bag, and I remember we opened it up, and as soon as the sock like came out, it was like a little spider.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like so embarrassed because I know what a bed bug looks like, and I was like, oh my God. And the exterminator was like, this is a spider.
Well, I had called the landlord throwing a shit fit.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no, you need to come now.
We were like, we need an exterminator
now. This
immediately.
is seriously disgusting. Like just being awful. And it's a spider and I'm an idiot. Or like the time when we were like,
thank God it was just a spider though. That would have been horrible.
We were freaking out about how the draining, like nothing was draining in the bathtub, but it turns out that the little thing was flipped up.
Yeah.
So we were headed on the bath setting, which was why it wasn't. God, girls are so dumb.
I know, they were probably like, these girls are the worst.
Girls are dumb. I don't know how to work
So
my own
dumb.
air conditioner because I don't have a boyfriend, and it's like, how am I supposed to have somebody to tell me what to do?
I was so happy because a few weeks ago, my dad came out here and I was like, Dad, you know something we can do together? He's like, what? I was like, install my air conditioner. Doesn't that sound like fun? But he's actually totally into that, so he was pretty pleased.
That's pretty nice. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to.
Since you're smoking disease gag, I loved that when we would work out, you would smoke an e-skag during it.
I had
and
to.
I'd be like, Kat, I think that's kind of defeating the purpose.
Well, it gave me a nice buzz, and then I would work out a little harder. She would like, I've had a harder time working out because she would wake me up. She'd be like, I would be like, I don't want to work out anymore. You're like, that's what you said you'd say yesterday.
And like, that's what you said, and then you told me that you still want me to get you up. So we're gonna get up. Do you want 5 more minutes?
Yeah. You're like, okay, so 5 more minutes. And I didn't want to let you down, and I was really just motivated by your cute little face and not wanting to let your cute little face down. I don't know. I think I belong living alone. Although I have a lot of alarm clocks all over my apartment because I don't wake up.
Oh, actually, the worst thing ever was the alarm clocks that would go off like periodically through the night. That was the worst thing. They would just like go off, and they're like that, like really annoying, like
yeah.
And it's going on for like 30 minutes, and then like it would be like, okay, it stopped. And then like a half hour later, like another 30 minutes, and then I would like walk into your room and I was like, hey, I don't know if you're aware, but your alarm clock is just keeps going. And you'd be like, yeah.
I don't understand what's wrong with me. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with me sleep-wise.
Yeah.
I think didn't we have a neighbor come knock on our door?
Yeah, even a neighbor one time
Turn
was
that
like,
shit off.
Yeah. And of course, I'm the one who answers. And I'm like, oh, hey. And because it was our attractive neighbor. And so I was like, oh, hey. And he was just like, that alarm clock, turn it off. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm getting it.
He was so sexy.
He was.
I'm so sad I waited till the last day to introduce myself.
Like, get to know him.
No, he was very cute, but very, I didn't know how much he had going on upstairs.
Yeah, not somebody to,
He made our whole floor smell like pot
all
and
the
like
time.
and then the downstairs floor too, like, which is like no judges. I don't care. Smoke all the pot you want. But it was almost alarming.
Yeah.
How like the entire like all 3 floors smelled like you smelled like weed. And it was just all from this one dude.
Yeah, he was just like all about it 24/7.
Very, very hot though. Very, very hot. I mean, I kind of feel, I mean, but you have like faith. So you're not like, I'm going to die alone and miserable, right?
Yes.
So you see, that must be nice to have that.
Aw.
It's very, no, I'm just kidding. I feel like I could die alone and be perfectly happy as long as I had like documentaries to watch.
Yeah, you love those documentaries.
Yeah.
Which are really fun to watch too.
I love to watch like murder documentaries.
Oh, they're so interesting.
Beyond Scared Straight, and then Married at First Sight.
God. Oh my gosh, Married at First Sight.
We would watch that. We watched that big time. Well, I remember like all the people's families in it were always like, my parents are not supportive of my decision. It's like, your parents love you, and what you're doing is objectively insane. How about you try
they
that?
Have legitimate concern.
Absolutely.
And I loved how there was always like a one where she was like, I'm not attracted to him. I don't think I ever will be. I'm really upset, but you know what? Experts decided this, so I'm just gonna go with it.
See, a bunch of idiots out there everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you do like online dating at all? Have you ever done that?
No, I've never done that. I feel like I'm too traditional.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to meet them first.
You want them to like bust out in an opera song and like
Yeah.
sing to you with like a violin.
Yeah, exactly. No, that would actually be really weird. Later on, that would be fun, but you know, not right away.
I can't, for me, it's like, it's pretty whatever. I just.
Do you do online dating?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I can't, especially at this point.
Yeah, probably not now.
At this point, like if I was on Tinder.
That would be really dangerous.
To tell people like where they can find me. Like I spend a lot of time making sure people cannot find me.
Yeah.
Like I that one stalker or whatever, he's still going at it.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
still going at it.
Yeah, I was also going to say, you wrote on my recital wall, like on Facebook.
Yeah.
And there's like a whole bunch of people who
Liked
I
it.
assume don't know you, like don't personally know you, who
Yeah.
commented. And the most recent one, that person was like, this proves that God is real. Kat Timpf is an angel.
What does it have to do with anything?
I know. And I want to respond just being like, yeah, she is. Are you coming to my recital?
Yeah. Like what the hell does it have to do with your recital? I was like, I'm sorry I can't make it. I'm giving a speech in Dallas. It has like 40 likes.
Yeah. And people are like, what part of Dallas will you be in?
Oh, Jesus. I mean, I think people, I guess they like follow me on Facebook, so if I ever post anything, they get a notification.
Oh my god.
So even if it's me being like, sorry, I can't make it, they're like, this is an awesome content. This is awesome content. Like I don't know. When you're doing this recital,
June 13th.
June 13th.
Yeah.
You're gonna be singing?
Gonna be singing, playing violin, and singing and playing violin at the same time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I can't do either of those things.
It's a hard thing to do.
You sing. I remember so many times I'd have to tell you to shut up when you had a little bit to drink.
Oh, yeah. That's my, it's like my I feel like it's my superpower when I'm drunk, but actually it's like the curse of when I'm drunk for everybody else around me. Because at the first 5 minutes, they're like, this is funny. She's singing everything. And then like 10 minutes later, they're like, oh my God, she won't stop singing.
I remember like one time I was like, what are you doing? I was like thinking about going out. And you're like, I'm at Marie's Crisis, which is like a show you like
Oh my
sing
God,
there.
it's my favorite place in the world.
That sounds like my personal hell.
Oh yeah, you would hate it. You would be like, get me out of here.
That sounds like I would seriously want to shoot myself in the face.
I crush Marie's Crisis. I've gotten paid to sing at Marie's Crisis, which is basically just a piano bar where you're supposed to pay to sing.
Nice.
And I had a guy slip me a 20, and then one of his friends slipped me another like $5, and I felt amazing. I was like, yes, they love me.
I spent the time I lived with you trying to teach you to be a little bit more of an asshole. After you told me that one story that upset me so much that you would go every day to try to win the lottery for Hamilton.
Oh my gosh.
For
Don't be a
Hamilton.
good friend, guys. What I've learned is actually being a good friend is a horrible thing to do because you will win the Hamilton lottery, but only one ticket, and you'll have a friend with you, and that friend will be like somebody who really needs a friend at that moment, and you'll be like, okay, you know what? Then I'll just give it up and we'll try again. And then you'll never get to see Hamilton.
She didn't go.
She
got the ticket and her friend couldn't go, and her friend was like, I'm sad.
Yeah.
You know what I would have said? Tough luck, bitch. Later.
I should have. And then the worst part too was then like later I remember I was hanging out with her and she was like, oh yeah, I saw Hamilton the other week. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, my grandparents bought me a ticket. And I was like, what the fuck? I was so mad.
I told you.
Oh my gosh. So if you ever win the Hamilton lottery and it's only one ticket and you have a friend, that friend's grandparents will buy them the ticket. So just go.
You gotta stick up. You gotta stick up. You gotta say, you know what? No.
Yeah.
I've had it.
Oh man. Now if I do that, I'm just gonna be like, peace.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. We've been already chatting for a while. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add? I feel like this has been good. I feel like I've introduced this. You're a real unicorn in my life.
Yay.
Which is something that I'm sure you aspire to be. Right?
I would love to be a unicorn.
I feel like you kind of are.
That would be cool.
Are a unicorn, and it's just also because you drink. You'll have a little bit of like white Zinfandel, and you get a little crazy.
Oh yeah.
You get very into Halloween and costumes.
Oh my gosh, I love costumes. Costumes are my favorite.
You got too drunk that one Halloween, right? When you dressed up like Professor Chaos.
Oh my gosh, and then I caused major amounts of chaos.
Well,
also to myself. Like I sabotaged myself. I had a crush on this guy, and he invited me to his party. And like the moment I got in there, he was just like, let's like chug this glass of punch. And I was like, okay. And I did. And then as soon as I did that, I had the thought of like, this reminds me of college, which is like a red flag of like, warning, stop now. But of course, he was like, could you chug another? I bet you can. And I was like, I totally can.
Oh, God.
And, like, all of a sudden, like 3 hours later, like I've been blacked out. I don't know anything. And I'm like just puking in a sink. At this point, I'm not Professor Chaos. I'm just Butters.
Yeah.
I've lost all the tinfoil. And like these guys who've been following me all night long are like, are you okay? And then I have one friend who's like, Kirsty's really good at singing. You should sing a song, Kirsty.
Yeah.
And so I start singing Let's Call the Whole Thing Off, which is a George Gershwin song.
Oh my God, you're brave.
And I'm like, I get really into it. And then like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm sober now. Somebody give me a song. I'm going to sing it. And somebody was like, do something from Phantom of the Opera. And I was like, no Phantom of the Opera. And then I found out later because I had like asked that friend. I was like, the friend that was taking care of me, I was like, what happened? Like, I have no idea. Like, I was blacked out for so long. And he was like, you were everybody's favorite person at the party, but you just like totally sabotaged yourself because you would talk to somebody for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15. It was always that interval. And then all of a sudden you would turn to them and be like, do I look crazy? And they would be like, no, why? And I'd be like, because I have a crush on this guy. And then I would like point him out. Like he'd be standing right there. I'm like this guy. And I just don't want him to know that I'm crazy. So clearly, like, I haven't seen this guy since.
I feel like as much as you love Halloween, you've had a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
Didn't you have like a really bad one where you went to like a party, like a really weird party with like a gay party, and there was like some guy dressed as a cowboy?
Well, I remember that was, I think that was still the Professor Chaos night. It was like this, well, it wasn't the same night because there was like a lot of Halloween nights that Halloween. There was a lot of going out for Halloween. And I remember there was this guy and he thought I was a guy, I guess, because we were at a gay bar. It was with Joel, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was dressed up as Professor Chaos, so like I taped my boobs down and stuff like that. So,
you really commit. Yeah.
I really commit. And so, but he grabbed up to me and he started grinding up against me, like, and then like almost immediately like had this shocked expression. He was like, "You're not a guy," and then he like ran away, and I was like, "What just happened?"
My God. Wasn't there another one where like some guy was like trying to get you to find someone for him to hook up with? Like he was like, he's looking for somebody. I don't remember. Something like that.
Oh yeah. There was one time where, this was again with Joel, where this guy came up to me, and I think this was a different year. I think this was the year that I was blue meth from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But this cowboy, and I forget the other one, and they were talking to me, and then all of a sudden they were like, yeah, that's great. So, do you know anybody who'd want to have sex with this guy tonight? Like, of course, another guy.
Yeah.
Like, we're not quite sure if he wants to bottom or not because he hasn't pooped yet.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, No,
Poor little sads.
I don't know anybody.
Poor little, like, God-fearing, church-going sads. I mean, it's just, I mean, I know that you're, like, fine with it.
Yeah, but I think that would just be, like, weird for anybody to be told. Like,
100%.
You know,
that is the weirdest thing for absolutely anybody, 100%. Yeah. It doesn't matter, gay, straight, whatever, to be like, my friend over there, does you know anybody that this friend wants to hook up with?
He's, like, really horny, and so he wants to have sex. Do you know anybody who would do that with him?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, get on, like, a app.
Yeah, like, I think there's other ways that you can do this. I mean, I guess he's trying to be traditional, being like, I'm trying to use word of mouth. Like,
Jesus. I don't know. I really hope that you have a better Halloween this year. I hope that it's a little more normal.
Yeah, I hope so, too. I don't know what I'm going to go as this year.
You start thinking about it really early. I'm almost surprised.
I do.
What was your most favoriteest one?
My favorite one was Goku, when I was Super Saiyan Goku.
Oh, that's some anime crap. Yeah.
Much fun, yeah.
Some anime crap.
It was, yeah. That's probably your least favorite.
It's my least favorite of anything to ever happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. That's, you know what? Thank you for coming in and sharing, allowing me to share you with the world.
Aw, thanks, Kat.
Because you are a wonderful human being.
So are you.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you saying that. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, rate, and thanks again, Kirsty. Let's go have some fun.
Let's go have some fun.
All right, bye everybody. Later.